our Titan season. This actually comes to us from Variety.com, saying that Titan season 3 has officially cast Savannah Welch as Barbara Gordon. It's an exclusive from them here. It says Variety has learned exclusively that Savannah Welch has been cast in the role of the HBO Max's upcoming 3rd season. In season 3, Gordon is a Gotham City police commissioner, uses a wheelchair. She used to be Batgirl until she was shot and paralyzed by the Joker. She has a combative relationship with Bruce Wayne. Her life gets more complicated when Dick Grayson returns to Gotham, rekindling their old romance and starting a new crime-fighting partnership. Welch is known for her role in the History Channel military drama 6, in which she played a Marine who suffered an amputation in combat. Her on-screen appearances include critically acclaimed films in Boyhood, as well as Tree of Life. Welch herself is an amputee, losing one of her legs after an accident in 2016. Since then, she has become a spokesperson for a disability community. So I honestly think that's pretty cool that they've managed to go ahead and find themselves a really pretty solid actress who definitely has experience under her belt, who also is an amputee, to kind of represent the disability community, if you will, to represent Barbara Gordon. I mean, talk about representation, right? The idea that you're not limited despite some of your own limitations, I guess you can say, you know what I mean? So I love the fact that she's in this now new particular role. And Indy, I got to be honest with you, man, the fact that we now have a Barbara Gordon in season 3, it just reminds me of when we used to do reviews for season 1 of Titans. One of the things that you talked about a lot that you always wanted to see pop up was Barbara Gordon. The idea of seeing what that relationship between her and Dick Grayson would certainly be like, or where they're at now. And so we're finally getting that. And I cannot wait to see what we wind up getting in here. It seems as though Savannah Welch, while I'm not too familiar with her work personally, it does seem as though she's certainly going to have a pretty substantial role for this season, alongside with Brenton Thwaites, who plays Dick Grayson. So I'm excited. I love the fact that we're building that Gotham City and Batman lore a little bit, starting to get into some of those characters, because not only are we getting Barbara Gordon, but we're also going to be getting the Red Hood as well, as Jason Todd in here too. So I'm loving what I'm hearing so far. We'll see how it's executed at the end of the day. But you hear this news, Indy, in regards to Savannah Welch. We now have our Barbara Gordon. You see the impact she's going to have on the show as far as her being a Gotham City commissioner and things like that. When you hear this news, what comes to mind for you, sir?
First off, I know Stuart's probably going to go into this a little bit, but she is in my favorite adaptation of a live action Ninja Turtles thing, because she was April O'Neil in the Casey Jones thing that they had back.
What? She was
when?
Which movie?
This was I think it was a Casey Jones. I can't remember if it was like a series or a movie. I just remember watching it. This was like 9-10 years ago. Okay. And she was April O'Neil in it. But the thing that has me excited and disturbed at the same time is this sounds like it's Barbara Gordon post Killing Joke.
It is.
So the love-hate relationship with Bruce Wayne has me torn a little bit, but this is what I always wanted to see. I wanted to see Dick and Barbara's relationship post her sleeping with Bruce and being paralyzed by Joker. So this is going to be really interesting how they interact. And I'm kind of worried because it seems like everybody that this version of Dick, deals with dies. So I don't want nothing to happen to Barbara Gordon because I love Barbara Gordon.
I mean, I didn't mean to laugh at somebody dying. I didn't mean to laugh at that. But
I mean, it's a fictional character, so
yeah. But it's still just the idea of it's almost like Dick Grayson is cursed with anybody he touches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, listen, it does say that there is some tension between Barbara Gordon and Bruce Wayne. They're kind of on the outs with one another. So who knows what their relationship was like? But honestly, with Ian Glenn playing like his older version of Bruce Wayne, I don't know how I feel about thinking about him and Barbara Gordon having some sort of relations together, honestly. But maybe that's one of the reasons why they're kind of maybe not necessarily on speaking terms. Who certainly knows? But Stuart, you hear this news here. We have our Barbara Gordon. You see her influence as to what her position is going to be for this season. What are your thoughts in regards to this?
Cautiously optimistic. Like you guys know my thoughts on Titans before, and while everything that I'm hearing about with this character and what they're doing with her definitely sounds really awesome. On execution wise, it might not be as good as it all sounds. So I'm currently just in that realm of cautiously optimistic, but again, I am still rooting for Titans to blow me out of the water. I'm really hoping that it goes, okay, we understand you didn't like seasons 1 or 2, but we promise this is the season you've been waiting for. So I'm still rooting for the show, so I'm hoping.
I will say this, while I don't necessarily think Titans is perfect, I do feel as though they have a great way of hitting on like at least one of the main storylines that they have in this show, and then maybe the other ones are okay or felt like throwaway kind of subplots that they don't necessarily need to focus on, type of thing. I'm really hoping that this is the main story that is really going to hit. I know we still have Starfire's story to certainly go. We probably have more Connor Kent and Gar stuff for them to talk about. Hell, that's not even to mention the Donna Troy stuff that they're probably going to figure out. I mean, my goodness, I'm losing fingers of how many plots they have to figure out in just this upcoming season alone. So again, I get why you're cautiously optimistic, Stuart, in regards to it, but similar to how like they did with the Deathstroke storyline, where in season 2 that was the solid storyline of season 2. I'm really hoping when it comes to the Barbara Gordon stuff and the focus of her, Dick Grayson, maybe the Red Hood kind of stuff, I'm hoping that all kind of forms together in a really, really solid storyline this year. And if there is at least one of those storylines this season that I need to succeed, it's definitely this one. So I'm really eager to see this version of Barbara Gordon. Are you guys a little bit bummed that it's not necessarily Batgirl, or do you like the concept of maybe like an Oracle here?
I'm okay with getting Oracle now and waiting until the movies before we get a Batgirl. And especially because like with how Titans has done it with season 1 and 2, I'm like 90% sure we're at the very least going to get Batgirl in the flashback of some sort. But I'm cool with like saving her like real debut for a movie.
It's already too many suits. I think they need somebody to give them some type of order. For them to be able to make strategic moves, because as a team, that's one of the things they've been lacking is being able to move and move around with teamwork and stuff like that, depending on just each other.
I mean, you would think with Dick Grayson they would have that, right? But they
wasn't none of them listen to Dick. That's the reason why they was in the trouble they was in the first place.
Well, Dick was carrying around his own secrets too, so he definitely wasn't doing his part. But I get what you mean.
Yeah, but having Oracle there, especially somebody who's probably going to support what Dick says, but also chat. Like I could see her like supporting him in public around, the rest of the team, and then confronting him in private, saying that maybe he should open his mind, not to just take away from his leadership. So that aspect should be pretty interesting if they do that.
Yeah, and even shows here in the article, it says not only rekindling their old romance, but starting a new crime-fighting partnership. So maybe we will have it where like we've got Dick Grayson or Oracle kind of like in his ear and things like that while he's kind of on the streets. Who knows? Maybe she winds up somehow at the end of the season forming her own Birds of Prey, and then we get a spin-off series somewhere. No?
Starfire's gonna burn her alive.
Who, Oracle? Get away from my man. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You think it's going to turn into a love triangle?
Do you see how jealous Starfire gets?
I mean, in the television, in the comics, yeah, and the animated stuff, yeah, for sure. But I don't think I felt like I've seen that side of her fully yet in this show.
She looked at Dove some kind of way when she met her. like it wasn't just you're Dick's friend. It was like
I mean, listen. I mean, Minka Kelly's a threat for anyone. Okay, man. If Minka Kelly comes walking around, yeah, everybody should take notice. So I can.